Polina.
Hello.
And I.
We kind of matched today.
Yeah. Today is our 2-year wedding anniversary, by the way. Yeah. Congrats. Yeah. Nice.
Well,
nice. We made it.
Can we just say that? Can we just say that this morning I woke up? No, actually, he woke up earlier, so he left. So then I see a text message from him, and I'm like, oh, it's definitely going to be like happy anniversary. Instead, it was, man. Because we were gone this weekend, he was like, man, the 8 sleep really does make you feel more rested. I feel amazing today. And I was like, thanks, you too. Okay.
I did text her that. I was like, man, I'm refreshed today.
Glad.
Listen, when you don't sleep on it, your ass is not, you just kind of like a little groggy. Then all of a sudden you sleep on it again. You're like, let's roll. So I needed to let you know. All right. What's the first topic? Elon Musk. What is Elon doing?
I don't know.
What do you think he's doing?
Okay, so if you haven't heard already, Elon Musk wants to end his $44 billion deal to buy Twitter. But, I mean, this is crazy. Twitter's board chair, Brett Taylor, said the company is still committed to closing the deal at the agreed upon price and plans to pursue legal action, aka sue Elon, to enforce the agreement. Can they really force him to buy this company?
Let's go back before we go forward. Elon said he was going to buy Twitter. I think that he actually was excited about buying Twitter. I think he genuinely meant, I'm going to buy Twitter.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%. I don't think that Elon Musk on a day-to-day basis is like a master plan guy. I think that he's got like, hey, there's a long vision, and then he kind of just does whatever he feels like is the right thing in the moment. A great example is the story of the Boring Company. They were in a meeting and they were talking about making tunnels, and then all of a sudden he was like, well, how long would it take us to build a tunnel? And somebody was like, well, we could probably get started in like 3 weeks. And he goes, well, like, why don't you guys go outside right now, start digging, and see how far we can get by Sunday? And it was Friday. And they literally, within 2 hours in the parking lot, they had a hole in the ground. And so like, I think that's just kind of how he is like he has this propensity for action. And so when he saw the opportunity to go buy Twitter, I think he got excited about it. He went and he did it. He is going to pay millions and millions of dollars in fees. He's done calls. He talked to the employees. He's dealt with the press. Like, you don't do all of that because you weren't serious at some point. I also think that his concerns around the bot problem are very real. Anyone who thinks that Twitter only has 5% bots, you're living under a rock or you're an idiot. They definitely have more than 5% bots. And I think that him pulling out of this is not him trying to like renegotiate the price. I think he's like, all right, well, I'm not going to buy this. This is stupid. And he lost interest at some point. What I do think is going to occur, though, is that if Twitter sues him, this is going to be a big mistake for Twitter.
Why?
Because under a court of law, they are going to have to explain a lot of things. And the lawyers aren't just going to be
Cue
like...
the meme.
Cue the meme.
Well, keep talking.
Oh, the lawyers. The meme. So Elon tweeted this today. They said I couldn't buy Twitter. Then they wouldn't disclose the bot info. Now they want to force me to buy Twitter in court. Now they have to disclose bot info in court. Do you think he took these photos specifically for this meme?
No. Well, so hold on a second. Let me argue Twitter's side for a second.
Go ahead.
He keeps saying that he doesn't have the bot info, but Twitter sent him what they had. Then he was like, that's not enough. Then they sent him like the raw data. Go do your own analysis, Elon. He still didn't do it.
No. That's Twitter's bullshit story. But supposedly, allegedly, Twitter gave him the Twitter feed, but they were rate limiting it to the point where they gave him less access than they give their own data customers.
Didn't they give him the raw data?
But they wouldn't let him actually query the whole thing. So there's a lot of bullshit happening in the shadows right now. At the end of the day, it's going to come down to, have they been telling the public 5% or less bots? And is that true? Because now we're going to enter a world. This isn't just about Elon buying it. If it goes to court and it is proven that there's more than 5% bots, there becomes a question of, is there fraud here? Have there been public filings where the company is representing something?
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, that's what I was reading a whole article today making the argument that that's the problem, is that there's misrepresentations about the data.
Amongst a lot of companies, not just Twitter.
Homes.
Okay, sorry. So homes, like stocks, are in a period of divergence right now. There's this hedge fund shows that in 2021. What does it show? Hold on, I had a whole thing for this. Oh yeah.
Plina is gotta get the rust off here.
I know. There was an analysis that looks at market conditions in 100 metropolitan areas around the country to see which markets are the riskiest, like where there have been the biggest declines in house.
And where do they say?
Well, do you want to guess?
Raleigh, Nashville, Austin, and Jacksonville.
No.
No?
Boise, Austin, and Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
I believe.
It's just those three?
Hold on. No, that's false.
Go ahead.
The riskiest markets over the next 12 months per this company are Provo, Utah, Lakeland. Is that in? Yeah, Lakeland and Cape Coral in Florida, and Austin. Cape Coral?
I feel like they're all just making this up. How do you know what's going to happen in the future?
I don't know, but it says most cities will see a deceleration in home prices, not a crash. Do you believe that?
Well, another piece is a home has four walls and a roof. The home doesn't change. The willingness of what people are going to pay for the home changes, and that is driven by nothing more than monetary policy. If there's loose monetary policy and capital is cheap, what do people do? They go borrow the money and they go buy the home. It's simple. If the capital is expensive, then people are going to borrow less, meaning they're willing to pay less. And so if you go ahead and you take a look, guess what the Fed's saying? They're going to continue to raise interest rates, which means the capital will be more expensive, which means people will borrow less. They borrow less, and they have less money because their stock portfolio has gone down. That means they're willing to pay less for the actual home, and home prices come down. This ain't rocket science. And trying to pick which markets or whatever ends up being kind of a crazy idea, because at the end of the day, what you're ultimately doing is you're trying to just pick where it has prices completely detached from the value that you can obtain. And in places like Phoenix, it was one of the best performing real estate markets over the last 2-3 years. In places like Miami, in places like, Austin, Texas. Those are some of the best places. So if it goes up fast, guess what happens? Comes down fast as well.
It's a fair point.
Expensive capital.
All right. I was just looking for places where we should not move. Tiger Global. Today's Monday. I don't know. Right? Yeah.
Monday
yes.
is no different than any other day.
Tiger Global, which was one of the biggest winners of the tech bull market and kind of one of the biggest losers of the bear market, plans to decelerate the pace of its investments in startups for 2 quarters. But the firm is also on track to raise a new fund later this year. Well, that's interesting.
Non-news.
Wait, why?
Everyone's doing this.
What do you mean everybody's doing this?
Everyone is sitting there slowing their pace of investing. I was
under the impression that Tiger Global was kind of dead, but it's not.
No. Tiger Global still has tens of billions of dollars. They're still some of the best investors in the world. And what everyone across the market is doing, here's some inside alpha. I talk to investors all day long, and guess what they all say? What? Yeah, we're trying to figure out if prices are going to continue to fall, especially in the later stage of a business. There's much more sensitivity to prices. In the pre-seed and seed rounds, those prices are still pretty healthy. They didn't fall a bunch, and people are still deploying a lot of capital there. But once you get kind of Series A, okay, a little slowdown, Series B and beyond, that market is drastically dried up. I know plenty of companies that are out fundraising. They've lowered their valuations. They're having a tough time. People are having to take flat rounds, down rounds, look for M&A, all kinds of stuff happening. And it's because, remember, there's a chain reaction. In the public markets, there are a bunch of hedge funds. Those hedge funds have seen their stocks come down because the Fed has been raising interest rates and conducting quantitative tightening. If you're a hedge fund and you have a public market portfolio and you're watching it fall down, guess what you do? If you also happen to be a crossover fund and invest in the private markets, you immediately say to yourself, well, if the public market is saying that these companies are only worth 2 to 5x revenue, I'm not going to go pay 20 times revenue in the last round before a company tries to go public because I'm going to get screwed. So then they say, well, we're not paying 20 times revenue anymore. Now we're only going to pay 5 times revenue. Well, if the Series F or Series E investor says I'm only going to pay 5 times, then very quickly the Series C, D, and E investors say, well, hold on a second. we can't invest at 20 times revenue because the next investor isn't going to invest at that rate. They're only going to invest at 5 times revenue, so we're going to get screwed. And the chain reaction kind of works itself through the system where everyone starts to get kind of slow down in pace and also reevaluate the market caps of these businesses because there is a change to the environment in capital markets, and the private market is insulated to a degree, but it is not completely immune to it. And so Tiger saying, hey, we're going to slow down for 2 quarters, what they're basically saying is, let's just buy time, see where the market kind of settles, and then we'll start to deploy again. So these companies, whether it's Tiger or it's a traditional venture fund, any of these folks, they're not going away. They're simply just saying, we don't know. We're in the eye of the storm, right? Yeah. And as it occurs, we just got to wait to see what happens, and then we'll start to invest again.
I just can't believe that it's sitting on billions of dollars of dry powder. Dry powder is uninvested capital. That's wild.
Nice. Damn. Encyclopedia.
Took me a while.
All right, what's up with Prime Day?
Okay. So
I heard that.
So Prime Day is Amazon's 2-day event with
Fake
all these
Prime Day.
sales. Wait, why fake?
Isn't this their second one?
I don't think so. Is it?
I think they have 2 Prime days.
I did not know that. Wait, what do you mean 2 Prime days?
Are you not impressed with my intellectual range?
Hold on. No.
I can go from talking about monetary policy to fake Prime Day.
It's not impressive if you ask if it's impressive. So Amazon has Prime Day July 12th and 13th. Is that what you mean, that it's 2 days?
Well, that one's coming, but I think that,
I
think they have another one. But go ahead. Okay. We'll figure out the details. We'll call it Prime Day for now.
Yeah. By the way, one time I went to an Amazon distribution center. Is that what it's called? And I saw like all the packages go. It's amazing in there. It's like Santa's workshop. Okay. So
I don't know if you went because you were a reporter trying to do a story or if you were trying to track a package that you ordered. But there's multiple reasons why you could have been there.
Could you imagine?
It would not surprise me.
Okay.
Like, they gonna give me my package. By the way, if there's 2 days, July 12th and 13th, then you can't call it Prime Day. You have to call it Prime
that's
days.
what they call it.
All right, go ahead.
I mean.
So what's the story?
So they've had explosive growth during this period when they do Prime Days, but this deals editor at Wirecutter says that we may not see the crazy growth year over year that we have seen before because of things like inflation. People may not be spending as much money as they once did on things on days like this. But wouldn't you spend money on this day because it's big deals?
No, people psychologically are
money
prepared.
Off?
No, people are psychologically prepared for a recession. They're spending less money. And if they're going to spend less money, Prime Day comes and they just go into the day saying, I'm not buying anything.
You think so?
I know so because you can see it in the customer you can see it in the consumer sentiment data is people believe we are headed towards bad times. And whether they are right or not, the psychology of the consumer ends up dictating what they do from an actual consumption standpoint. And so if you think we're headed to bad times, guess what people start to do? You know what? I need to cut back on the coffee I buy. I need to not go out to eat as much anymore. I need to do that. And they start to get in the mentality of save, don't spend as much, and they become less excited.
Except if you remember, food at home was
it's not
more
any better.
Expensive than...
Yeah, it's not any better, but still it ends up being a psychological shift has occurred. The Federal Reserve started last November and December talking tough, saying we are going to destroy demand. Destroy demand means they are going to financially incentivize you not to want to buy things. That's what destroy demand means.
Yeah.
Like if you take the Federal Reserve's word, we are going to destroy demand, and you translate it to street language, they are going to punish you until you no longer want to buy things. Yeah. They're destroying the demand for goods and services. Guess what? It's working. And so when there is a day or two, like Prime Day or days, there's less demand because the Federal Reserve is literally beating people over the head with monetary policy saying, you do not want to buy things.
Right.
Destroy demand.
Consume less.
It's almost like they use big words to confuse people, but if they just came out and they said, we're going to punish everyone until they don't want to buy things anymore, people are like, oh shit, I should save some money.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting though that, putting that aside, Walmart, Target, and Best Buy, among others, are holding competing deals events to coincide with Amazon Prime Day. Like, Can you imagine? He's reading the comments right now. You're so big. What?
Go ahead.
You're so big and you're such a competitor that you kind of force all your other competitors to up the ante and do deal days to compete with.
Of course.
Target did it 1 day in advance.
End quote, repeat line.
What? Oh, Anthony.
Somebody said that in the chat. I mean, go ahead, next.
We do not speak politics here.
It's not politics.
NASA
Do my
is
best
set
impression.
to release its first full-color scientific images taken by the James Webb Space Telescope Monday and Tuesday.
This is cool.
Okay, so yes, it is cool, I agree, but why do we have to do this reveal? First, Biden is gonna unveil the first color photo today at 5 p.m. Eastern. NASA will release the rest of the images on Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Why this buildup? Just release the photos to the people. I don't get it.
How do you know? How do you know that it's a real photo?
Oh, come on.
It's a question.
I just asked, why do you think it's this big reveal?
Because it's cool. People are excited about stuff like this. I think they should be. Like the Hubble telescope, when that has a new imagery or something, people get excited. This is cool. It's first color version.
Yeah, and so this is interesting. I think they spent $1 billion. Oh yeah, $10 billion. Sorry. This long-awaited milestone will set the stage for the rest of the $10 billion telescope's mission to rework our understanding of how the universe evolved from the earliest galaxies to today.
Hey,
$10 billion.
We got people hungry in this country. We got people suffering. And we're shipping tens of billions of dollars to a country that we supposedly aren't at war in. And also, we're spending $10 billion on a satellite to not do anything about the future, but to understand the past. Interesting. I'm just saying, Tupac had it right.
Oh my God.
Do you remember what he said?
No.
I don't remember the exact quote, but he basically was like, they got money for war, but they ain't got money to feed the poor.
Fair point.
My guy was ahead of the times.
On that note,
So
somebody said pump for president.
No.
Not in this suit.
Nah.
Okay.
No, I only got one. That's fine.
All right, friends.
But real quick before I let you go, I do want to make sure that we mention yesterday was Ranger's first birthday. So happy birthday to my friend Ranger. The little pup.
The little pup is now
He's a big dog now, like the actual big dog. See, did you get that? Did you get that? Practicing the dad jokes. The best part about it, though, is if you're a 1-year-old dog, is really like you're 7.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Dog years, get it? Just saying. So when Joe gets here, we'll talk a little bit more about it. But it was Ranger's birthday, so everyone make sure that you wish Ranger a happy birthday.
We got him little gifts. Yeah.
Yeah, we did little dog treats and stuff. He didn't give a shit. He just was like, I'm hungry. All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye, friends.
I appreciate it.